What do these two items have anything to do with modern day basketball? Well, believe it or not, the first basketball hoop was actually a peach basket that looked something like this. And basketball was first played with a soccer ball, according to Basketball How It Began, Facts and Information About the Game, found on March 30th on the Next College Student Athlete website. I'm certain that not everyone taking this course plays basketball, even though it is the most played sport in America, according to over 26 million Americans play basketball, found on the Sports and Fitness Industry Association website. This is a little graph showing how basketball being the most played sport and baseball being the second played sport does not even measure up to just about half of basketball. As someone who has played basketball for over 15 years, I believe it is one of the most fun things to do with your time. However, I also understand that not everyone knows the basic rules of the sport or how to dribble and shoot properly. Today, I would like to discuss the 3 fundamentals of learning to play basketball. We will discuss the rules, the basics of dribbling, and the essentials of shooting. Let's begin with the first step in playing basketball: the rules. Here's a basic list of all the rules of basketball, some which we have maintained and some which we have failed to maintain throughout time. The National Federation of State High School Associations explains the rules that we have maintained. The ball may be thrown in any direction with one or both hands, and may be batted in any direction with one or both hands. A player cannot run with the ball without dribbling. That is known as a violation called traveling. No shouldering, holding, pushing, striking, or tripping an opponent is allowed. The first infringement of this rule by any person shall count as a foul, signaled by a referee, something like this. A foul is also striking the ball with a fist. A goal shall be made when the ball is thrown or batted from the ground into any basket and stays there, providing those defending the goal do not disturb the goal. If the ball rests on the edge and an opponent moves the basket, it shall automatically count as a goal. When the ball goes out of bounds, it shall be thrown into the field and played by the first person touching it. The side making the most goals in that time shall be declared the winner, meaning whoever has the most points at the end of the game wins, as we still see today. The National Federation of High School State Associations also explains the rules that we have failed to maintain. The first one being the ball must be held in or between the hands. The arms or body must not be used. Today, we allow anyone to hold the ball with their legs, arms, anything else, while they maybe wipe off sweat or something of that sort. If either side makes 3 consecutive fouls, it shall count as a goal for the opponent. That's another rule that we no longer go by. Rather, anytime somebody fouls, the opponent is able to shoot free throws rather than 3 consecutive fouls counting as an automatic goal. Now that you're educated on the rules, let's introduce the first step into learning how to play the sport: the basics for dribbling a basketball. The CDC, on its website, states the fundamentals of dribbling a basketball. The Center for Disease and Control and Prevention says to bounce the ball on the floor with your strongest arm, and when it bounces back, you should use your fingertips rather than your palm in order to stop the upward motion and push it back on the floor. And you should always keep it about waist high to refrain from dribbling so high. Stack.com states that dribbling drills should be practiced with your eyes up on the court in front of you. This is especially important for 2 reasons. Your eyes should always be looking from baseline all the way to baseline. First off, so you are able to see the entire court and will more easily spot an open teammate so that they are able to score. And second, you will turn the ball over less, so when you are able to see your opponents coming towards you. Once you've mastered dribbling in place, you should switch to your other hand and continue to practice while moving around. Now that you understand how to get the ball up and down the court without traveling, let's take a look at how to score points. The essentials of shooting a basketball. So the correct form of shooting a basketball is aligning your foot with your shooting arm, and for it to be slightly in front of the other one so that they both point towards the basket when you shoot. You should tuck your elbow and line it up with your knee parallel, and don't shoot at the rim using my peach basket. Don't shoot at the rim, rather over the rim so it is able to go in. And here is a demonstration how the coach is teaching to keep his knee aligned with the elbow and how both feet should be pointing towards the basket. The Journal of Sports Science and Medicine, in its article, Increased Distance of Shooting on Basketball Shot, explains how the arc of the ball that it travels should look. So, with a view of the ball above the rim, something like this, it shows how it's at a 90 degree and is able to go in very easily. However, the further you shoot, and this second view, the ball is going at a more angle and has a less chance of going in at a 45 degree angle. And then finally, they show something even more angled, giving yourself only 22 degrees to work at making the basket. Basketball is an extremely fun sport that entails only 3 fundamentals and can be mastered easily with a sufficient amount of practice. In my introduction, I noted that more than 26 million Americans play the sport of basketball, more than any other sport in America. However, I do not believe that every individual in this course plays basketball in their free time. Mostly because they are not completely familiar with the rules or dribbling and shooting techniques. However, I hope that the information I have shared today will help you the next time you consider going out a nice day and picking up a basketball to dribble and shoot. If you don't quite pick up the sport on your first attempt, don't quit, Michael Jordan once said. If you quit once, it becomes a habit. Never quit.